that we are. And oh, there's Wally. There he is. So in all bad post-Brexit. That's what they're saying now. But I would say all the things that they're saying that are going to be okay are things that we had before. In fact, we had a much better before. That we did. Where are they gone? Are they going to keep up or not, do you reckon? Bit of a random... Oh, wait, come on, Dora, you can do it, girl. Well, there's an article in The Guardian that I've just been reading. I can't remember half of mine, but there you go. That's how it is, isn't it? Hello, Mad Monk Fred. How you doing? I know it's a bit of an odd one, but there you go. So, this is the Voir Vert in Orador, and basically it's an old tram line that runs, like a railway line that runs between Orador and Chalou. And it used to go all the way, well, past that through to Bezirk-Olon and Ladnant-Along as well. So it's, now it's known as the Voir Vert, so it's literally just a walk. And it's all tarmacked all the way through. It's ideal if you want to go on like electric bikes and stuff like that. But yeah, there's a series of old railway stations. Got this one here, and this here is the like the maintenance where they used to put the trains in to maintain. You can see the roof on the end. Oh, hang on, what's going on there? Come back. It's gone a bit loopy. Oh, maybe I pressed the wrong buttons. I'm using a gimbal, so it's like Right, so yeah, that building there. So it's an old railway. Well, the trains used to go in, the carriages used to go there for maintenance. And then over here was the actual train station. Here in France, we're in Orador-sur-Ver. I can prove it as well that we're in Orador-sur-Ver, because we're coming up to a sign that says Orador-sur-Ver. Happens to be on the front of the train station, which is there. And then over here, there's the the other building on. These are actually public toilets now, but that would be the other side of the railway track, basically. People could wait. So, Wally, he's running off right ahead. He is, little devil. Oh, yes, I should have put him on a lead. I brought a lead with me just in case. But he's got his habit recently. He's just running off. He's right up, right ahead there now, right on the end there. Look, I don't know if you can see him. No, probably not. Because I can only just see him. He gets a sniff for something and he's off. He's a little devil, he is. Oh, that's better. I just changed that round out. Let's go around again. These gimbals are all very well, but they keep on moving. I keep accidentally pressing the wrong button, so I get used to it again. I used to use it a lot, but I haven't used it for a long while. But I managed to make it so it can work with this. I don't want that one. That one. Is that one better? Yeah, there we go. So yeah, what's going on with that? Come back. Bonjour. See, that's an electric bike. Speak the devil. I just mentioned that, and there you go. So, who we got here? It's very hard to see because the light is shining on it. Nick Young. Good morning to you too, and Golden Boy. Hello there. Bonjour, monsieur. Bonjour. Ça va? And young Bolos. Or young Bolos. I don't suppose you have a lot to do there, Mad Monk. There's not going to be many people on here. Oh, Wally's just meandering up there. But yeah, this article it's in The Guardian, and they're saying defence, travel, science could all have a much warmer relationship with the European Union post-Brexit. Well, I don't know if you remember, once Rishi Sunak, he kind of calmed things down a little bit. Fair dues to him for doing that, because it was that's a bit dire, wasn't it, under Boris Johnson and Liz Truss. Oh, what did she say? She was quite aggressive, actually, in one speech, saying, what was her words now? Well, basically, she was derogatory towards Emmanuel Macron and what have you. See, friend or foe. That's it, was if he's a friend or foe. Which obviously, that wasn't exactly very diplomatic thing to say, was it? So look at this house here. It's been empty for as long as as long as we've been here at this little house here, little Susong, and they've actually cleared it all. This used to all be just full of rubbish everywhere. Well, they cleared a lot. There used to be a bus over there. It looks like somebody set a light to it, like an actual coach type bus. And it was there's still a lot of rubbish there, but they've really cleared it up. But there's no one living here. It's quite a nice little house, actually. You know, I haven't seen anyone living in it anyway. There's never anyone about. But over there's some boogies. I'm going to show you. I'm trespassing now. Oh dear, what a naughty boy. It's when somebody come out and they're like, "What are you doing on my land?" En français. See, over here. See them? On the floor there? I've got there. Oh, bogies. From the trams. So it's probably quite narrow gauge. But during before cars took over, there was tram lines everywhere, and there was all these little stations. Even where I live in the little hamlet, there's a little railway station, tiny little thing. This little stone building with the name of the station, which is basically the hamlet. And they are everywhere, absolutely everywhere. Huge network. But then cars came along and pretty much destroyed it. No more tram networks. And obviously a lot of this happened post-war, because I was also there, where this is our local town, and it used to be, there was more population back before the war and what have you than there is now. I say the war, I'm talking about the Second World War, obviously, but than there is now. The population now in this commune is actually quite low. It's only about 2,500, 3,000 people, and that's spread over quite a few, quite a broad area. But we have a school and post office and pharmacy. I think pretty much every flipping little town and village has a pharmacy. And I'll tell you one thing I have learned living here in France: the French hypochondriacs. They really are. They don't come out of these places without some kind of bag of stuff. Even we struggle to come out of it. Yeah, they do like to prescribe. Yeah, okay, guys, I know you want a treat. I get it. All right, let's see. Let's find them. All right, there they are. Oh, well, okay, Dor. Oh, Sebastian first. Oh, kept my fingers that time. And Pandora, good girl. Oh, Wally. That's a good fella. Yeah. Oh, wrong way. I'll get used to this thing one day. The thing is, when you turn it around, everything's in reverse. You've got to remember. I've had it quite a long while, but I've very rarely used it. But I noticed when I was doing live streams with the phone before, they were really jittery. Make you dizzy. Don't be dizzy, do you? No. Okay, well, just check the chat. Good morning, P. Dallas. Oh, we've got two mods there. I didn't expect there to be two mods here. You got nothing better to do? Hello there. Hello, Ian Harbour. I hope you're well. I hope the audio's okay. I'm running it through my little microphone, what have you, so hopefully it's good. I have plenty to do, but it doesn't need to be done straight away. I can pace myself and still get done. Oh, cheers, buddy. Yeah, you don't have to, It's there's not going to be many along here anyway on this stream. But you might notice I didn't upload any videos today. I put 3 up yesterday, and I did so flipping bad. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but people hate me. They hate me. So yeah, I've still been putting videos up on my other channel, the Earth Trifle, trying to build that up. It's a bit random, but it's just anything to do with earthy type stuff, but hopefully in a practical sense, really, because I don't want to be like, let's say, a tree hugger, because I don't necessarily think that's the way forward. I think you frighten people off from actually making any changes whatsoever. So I think if we're talking about gardening, for instance, we need to try and we've got to make it as easy as possible. Otherwise, some people, they put spade in the ground for the first time, turn a bit of land over, and they think, oh my God, I can't do this, and they give up. Or they have a bad year, their first year, oh my God, I put all the seeds in the ground and they didn't grow. It turns them off and they never do it again. We've got to try and prevent that. We've got to try and make it easier. That's kind of the idea. And also look at other options as well. Like, for instance, how do how do you grow things when you're living in a high-rise? Maybe some beans out of the balcony. Hello, estimate. I hope you're well. Just all you live, yeah, just live. Just watching on, but not watching on replay for a change. Hey. No. Oh, Craig, what's going on there? For some reason, I'm on the wrong. Oh no, not that's the right one. There you go. So yeah, so they're saying in this article here, they're saying, oh, it's official. Relations between the EU and the UK have been reset. And this is in this Guardian article, okay? Ambassadors and High Commissioners of all 27 member states declared there has been a regain in trust. Well, how little do they know Richie Sunak? Yeah, he might have mellow tone and what have you, and well, he's a bit of a glazed expression actually, doesn't like he's a puppet. Oh, maybe he is, but that man's so dishonest. He really is. Anyway, they're saying after 7 years of tension, mistrust, and sometimes downright contempt, the outbreak of civility is no small thing. The task ahead is therefore to build on this re-engagement and to develop further the ties between the EU and the UK, the ambassadors have said. Well, that's obviously all positive stuff, isn't it? That's good. Crikey, I didn't realise how heavy this thing is. We hold it up there for a long period of time. Oh, I've got an idea. Oh, hang on, don't do that. What happened? For a minute I thought it was that's strange. Just went a bit loopy. Right, so I'm just trying to rest it on me. That's it. That's the kind of thing to do. Dee. Up there you go. Ah, that's the way to do it. So, oh, it's done it again. Might be because it's heavy. It's got I've counterbalanced it, but it doesn't like being that way round. Okay, I'm gonna have to hold it like that. Right. Okay. All fingers and thumbs at the moment. I just made everything extremely large on my phone. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just plonk. I might have to plonk this down here for a second because I can see a dog. And although my dogs are very friendly, they can be too friendly. So I'm going to plonk you down here. Karen torn too, obviously. But my Sebastian can be he's a lovely boy, but he can be a little bit excitable. Okay. He can be a little bit excitable, that he can. Right. We'll put Wally on a lead just in case of pain. Wally, come here, Wally. Come on, fella. That's a good boy. Oh, what? Sebastian, come here, look. Actually, we'll put Sebastian on lead. He's the one who's real pain. There you go. He gets a bit excitable. This one here. There he is. Sort of. Oh, dear. Oh, look at him. Yeah, he gets a little bit too friendly with the other doggies. Now he's trying to hump the ball. Pandora! Oh, God. Pandora's is getting ready to jump. Sebastian! So enough of that. Hey! He's not aggressive, he's just excitable. Wally! Oh dear. Oh, Wally! Pardon. Hey! He says, oh. Oh, just be. Oh. Hey, enough of that. Dora! Dora! Oh, good boy, good boy. Wally! Dora, come on. Sebastian, come on. He's a little dog. Don't you jump all over him. Come on, Wally. Come on. Oh, it's a standoff. It's a standoff. Hey, enough of that. Oh, dear. Oh, bro. Oh, dear. Oh. Hopefully we don't get any more. We might do. Yeah, okay, Dora. That was you. You're sort of a good girl. She can get a bit jealous. That one can. Oh my God, where have you been putting your head? You're muddy. Wally, what treat? No, okay, don't know. We up that instead. Right. So what we're saying here? What we're saying? Oh. So defence and where are we now? We gain trust. Okay, after 7 years. Let's have that. Now Richie Sunak has already put to bed Liz Truss's confusion. Remember that? Yeah, yeah. Like I said a minute ago, she was rather derogatory over whether France was friend or foe. Emerging from a meeting with Emmanuel Macron in March, hailing unprecedented cooperation on a crisis such as the small boats crisis and the war on Ukraine, and has led to the UK joining an EU-wide mobility programme to ease movement of troops and artillery across the continent. All right, Sebastian, let's take this off you now. You can go, yeah, you can go and do what you do, and we'll carry on our walk. Yeah, so that's obviously cooperation's always a good thing, apparently. Yeah. Oh, I should really do my trousers up. Yeah, if I put things in my pocket, my trousers fall down. They get quite embarrassing, especially when you don't wear underwear. Don't want to do that, especially live. That'd be terrible. So yeah, financial regulation. Oh yeah, by the way, talk about not financial regulation, we talk about immigration. The Bibi Stockholm has it's arrived. Now, when I was looking the other day at the Bibi Stockholm on the transponder site, the ship, where the ships are, so to speak. It was a bit strange. I don't know if you were watching it. It showed where it was apparently, right, with the tugboat. But when you zoomed in, it wasn't there. So maybe it was the last place it was. Transponder had uploaded. Registered its position. Because shortly after the video, because I thought it was going to be another week or so before looking where it was. But then I thought the following day they tell us it's now in UK waters. So I don't know what went on there. That was a bit odd. So anyway, the Bibi Stockholm has arrived, which is basically the prison ship. I don't know why it keeps doing this. It's not, got a beat in it. And I'm afraid good morning to you too. Truss had a Spitfire squadron on alert. Spitfire squadron. A Spitfire squadron on alert while meeting with Macron. Yeah, probably. She'll be spitting all over him. Hang on, what's she doing at the moment? Where's she ended up? She's gone somewhere, isn't she? Oh, crikey, where was that again? Was it Hong Kong or Taiwan or something? She's interfering again? What the hell? She's not even in the cabinet anymore. She got beaten by lettuce. We don't really want her interfering. And can you remember all the trouble she caused? Taiwan. Oh, cheers, buddy. You remember all the trouble she caused regarding Sergei Lavrov in Russia? I think we could blame the war in Ukraine on her. Sergei Lavrov was the Russian foreign minister. He was so pissed off with her. Well, he called her an idiot, basically, didn't he? She couldn't even work out where the seas were. Got all the seas mixed up. And anyway, he basically called her an idiot. And 2 weeks later, Russia then invaded Ukraine. So I blame Liz Truss. I think the war in Ukraine is Liz Truss's fault. That's what I do. Yeah, definitely. What do you reckon? So yeah, why the hell is she over there? She's trying to be relevant. She's not even the minister, is she? I don't think. She's an MP. Why does it keep doing that? Oh no, I do. I keep pushing the thing round. That's what I'm doing with the dog lead. Cheers, Nick. Truss has Spitfire squadron just alive. Yeah, so our relationship with the EU is looking better. I'm not denying that. Of course it is, and that's better. Leave it at that. But to try and sell it as something like we're better off, now that we're now talking again, because obviously the right-wing press are going to jump on that. They're going, oh, look, lad, see what we were worried about. There's no problem after all. All the benefits of Brexit. We've all got all these things that we had before, before we left the EU. It's nuts. So financial regulation. Now, obviously, there was the Memorandum of Understanding, and there was the, obviously, Bank Passport, which was a massive loss for the UK. The Windsor deal on trade arrangement between Northern Ireland and has opened up the door for progress on financial regulation. Now, they're saying that they're saying everything is for certain now, but it's not. This isn't negotiated yet. And you know how long it takes to negotiate anything regarding Brexit. Oh, my giddy aunt, what's she doing? She's just gone in like muddy stuff. Lovely. She drank that. Oh, she's a funny one, that one. That's Pandora. It says the Memorandum of Understanding was signed 2 years ago to pave the way for the UK EU regulatory reform to allow regulators to, well, on both sides of the channel to resolve issues. Well, I believe that runs out at the end of this year. God, my arm is aching so much. So yeah, I believe it runs out soon. So, so period of, where are we now? So one of the main issues is a grace period for London's financial market clearinghouses to continue serving customers in the bloc. So yeah, at the moment, London is clearing the euro. We're talking about huge amounts of money every day, and obviously London gets a percentage of that. Now that's supposed to end in 2025. But apparently there are hints that there's a possibility it could be extended, not necessarily in entirety, but they could still play a part. Now the other thing we're talking about is youth mobility, and I'd like to see some mobility for bands and artists and have you, not just for obviously ordinary people, although that would be lovely too. But culture needs to move both ways, you know. It does, it really does. And it's not just the financial element of it I'm thinking of. I'm thinking about, about nurturing bands, young, bands just starting out. I've told you about this before. I used to have a radio station. We used to do unsigned music. I used to play on the Sky Radio and what have you. They'd be on the EPG there, Pulse Radio it's called. And we were broadcasting unsigned music, it's quite an eclectic mix, all sorts of genres involved, and it was brilliant to be involved with. But you see firsthand how artists, they struggle and they're learning all the time, and they need to perform. Just like me and my French, really, I need to be getting out there and speaking to French people. The problem is I don't see anybody. No. Very rarely do I see anyone to actually speak to, which isn't very helpful. But it's the same with the bands. That they need to be performing, so they get to. Let's bring it around again. It's got mind its own. This thing has, so they can start getting the feel for it. The idea of performing amongst in front of people, but also support acts and what have you. So this is one of the many bridges along here, little iron bridges. I wish that would stay still. That's better. Wish you could lock it in one position. That'd be very handy. So yeah, we've got these little iron bridges, which you've got these like voids and sheer drops. This is like a health and safety nightmare. It really is. But we're in France. It's a little bit different here. And now I can't see my Wally. Where? Oh, it's okay. I can see him. Thank God for that. Yeah, I can spin you around. You can have a look if you like. See the doggy, shall we? Yeah, I'll spin this round. Oh, Sebastian is here. There we go. What's up? What do you want a treat? Alright, let's move you down. Oh, wait. You want a treat? Bonjour. Oh, keep your fingers. Got joggers everywhere. Everyone's got the right idea except me. I suppose I'm walking, I'm doing something. So it's just, there goes Wally. Bonjour! Look at him. What do you think? What about me? They all had one, didn't they? Huh? You've already had one. Let me just check your head. What's up with your ear, Wally? Is that a tick? Yeah. No, it's not. It's just a bug. Just watch the ticks. They seem to be ripe at the moment. The old ticks. Spin it around. There you go. Probably do have a bigger one of these. More oomph. Looks like everything doesn't cost money, so I'll have to wait. Do. Right. There they go. Right, so where were we? Youth mobility. So freedom of movement has gone. Oh, what a huge loss for everybody. How was that a Brexit win? That was never a win, was it? It's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, it's gone, affecting businesses and tourism. But sources in the EU say there is appetite for a special programme of temporary visa-free work permits. What are you doing over there? Which is, okay. Sounds a bit like what France has with Canada and the UK has with Australia. Maybe that's the case, we'll see. But the House of Lords European Affairs Committee recently called for the government to approach the EU about the possibility of entering an ambitious reciprocal youth mobility partnership. So the EU source said that the Downing Street would be pushing at an open door if it did so. Ooh. Okay, the other thing is qualifications. Now, as you know, mutual understanding, recognition of qualifications in the between the UK and the EU. You know, when we remember, it wasn't a problem. You know, apart from medical's a bit more complicated, but UK qualifications were recognised. But unfortunately now, they're not. So anyway, before Brexit, the professional qualifications such as degrees in architecture and accountancy acquired in any EU country were recognised right across the whole bloc, allowing graduates to work in any of the 28 member states. Now, this is no longer the case, but there is provision in the trade agreement for further discussion about it. So that's, well, that's a speculation, isn't it, really? Doesn't mean to say it's going to happen at all. So we can hope it, I suppose. We can hope it's going to happen, but I don't mean to say it's going to. Now, you might have heard the latest. Should I laugh? Probably not, I don't know. But this is doing the rounds at the moment in the right-wing press about how, with the Windsor framework, how the UK, all the Tesco's, the Asdas, and all the supermarkets now are going to have little stickers, all on the labels, printed on the labels even, not for not destined for the EU. Yeah, and that way they can enter the the green lane, regarding the Windsor framework. Sounds like a plan. Because obviously the red and green lanes and what have you, so stuff can enter Northern Ireland from the UK, and currently, they're not very happy. But now they're not very happy because now there's going to be labels and things saying it's not destined for the EU. Now, I think there's some practical reasons for doing this, and one is so the EU can actually see whether or not the Windsor framework is actually working, and see whether or not how much food from the United Kingdom is entering the European Union. It's going to be hard to hide away from it, really, if there's labels on everything. That's what I think. I think there's a possibility. Oh, by the way, I might be going live tonight before the Snowflake show again, and then switch over to the Snowflake show. I don't know about yet, but we'll see. So joint food and animal health standards. So a deal between the UK and the EU to operate equivalent sanitary and phytosanitary regulations would immediately reduce the number of checks required on goods coming into Great Britain from the EU and going to Great Britain to Northern Ireland, where some EU laws are still observed even with the new deal on the protocol. you know, the Windsor Framework and what have you. Now, equivalence was considered a barrier to the US trade deal, but also anathema to the hardline Brexiters, as it would meant that the UK remaining in a rule taker. Oh no, really? Rather than a rule maker. Oh no, not anymore. No. And this could be revisited by a Labour government. And hold on, quick, I'm going to have to bring this up, but you know, I did a video about this, about the let's put my neck, about the EU reach, you know, and the animals and what have you, and how animal testing has now accelerated for cosmetics. That is terrible news, and I am absolutely pissed off about it. I really am. It's terrible. And Mellow, hope you well. Send all the Tories to live in that barge, in the Bibby Stockholm. I agree, Mellow. We could do that. We could also weld all the doors shut, and then get maybe a 4-inch hole saw and cut a hole in the bottom. But first, pull it out to sea first. Yeah, see how they like it, and give them a 5-horsepower outboard. That'll do. No, the migrants feel then. Now, this way, guys. Make sure that Wally knows we're going the opposite direction. Because this goes on and on this lane. I've already gone way past where we normally go. But then we do a bit of a round trip, you see. But I've been jabbering away, I have. Yeah, so yeah, the EU reaches, I think that's terrible. Obviously, because we've now left the European Union, and the European Court of Justice has no say. Oh, cheers, buddy. They are lovely guys, they really are. Guys and gal. Look, black one, little Pandora, which is down here. It's got a bit loopy. This one there. Oh, there she is. Oh, I know. Look, yeah, very excited, aren't you? You're very excited, a bit loopy. And okay, what you doing? And they're all thinking, what about me? I want a treat. Okay, we'll have a treat then. No, I won't, but I'll give you a treat. That's my pocket. Okay. You want calm down a bit. Not always that. Sometimes he and we went off for a second. And sometimes he wants to play, tug of war with a teddy bear. Yeah, he's got his own toy box. Hey Wally, we could pee all now. I think about this. They don't half pee, don't they? Instead of letting it go all in one hit, they just like pee and pee and pee. They really do. Right, we'll be like 30 odd minutes already. Crikey, time flies, doesn't it? Diddy. Oh, I know, man. Sorry, bud. Yeah, it's a Wednesday, isn't it? You're going out with your brothers. It's brother night out. We're going to get drunk and paralytic and fall over. Yeah, probably. Hi, Thomas says hi. EU will be more stronger. Well, the EU will be stronger anyway because it's a much bigger trading bloc. It has bigger turnover, like GDP and all that. 16 odd trillion instead of 2.7 in the UK. The UK had a lot of soft power, didn't they? But they've really thrown that away. They really have. At 91 Leeds. What's going on? It's Dogtanion and the Three Muscatons. Release the dogs on the Tories, oh please. I don't know if anyone saw a clip on Twitter. It's been flying around doing the rounds at the moment, where the police shot 2 dogs on a report that apparently they were snappy, and or something like that. So there's some people are saying, I got my doubts. They didn't need to be shot. No. They were tethered together. What a dog tethered together? They're not. No, that's ridiculous. And that dog was obviously scared. They'd already shot one of the dogs, and the other one was really scared. Tried to get back to its owner, for which the police were tasering. It's all it was all online, and the police were tasered the bloke, the owner, for no flipping reason. The owner was just reacting because they just shot their dog. There should be police inquiry. Yeah, should be an inquiry into this. I would hope, but I would like to see the guy with that gun. Yeah, what I'd like to see. I can't say it on here, obviously. It's inciting violence and all that, but you get the gist. Yeah, because animals are not. Dogs aren't to blame. No, it's always the owner. And quite frankly, in this particular clip, the owner's already been tasered. The dogs are already, well, they weren't doing anything. Okay, they might be barking at me, but they weren't being aggressive. You know, if a dog's been aggressive, they're drilling at the bloody mouth. They did not need to be shot. That was disgusting. I don't know if you saw that, but I was going to put it in my live stream the other night. I thought that would upset people, so I'm going to do it. So it's quite. Especially, you could hear all the the dogs crying and stuff. You know what I mean? They're really, it's horrible. Science collaboration. Now that's a big one for the United Kingdom if they can pull that off. Because obviously got the Horizon project, but they've already, the UK more than once has dismissed Horizon. Usually they dismiss something as, oh, we don't want to do that anyway, when they fail to negotiate. That's what usually happens. Like they did regarding memorandums of understanding and what have you, and all they got a little bit of a managed to get something in the end. But Richie Sunak, when he was Chancellor, was, oh well, no, we're not going to do that anyway. We've got a better idea. And they say about the Horizon project, so we're not going to do that anyway. We've got a better idea. Yeah, it's just a load of bollocks. That's what it is. So science collaboration, so re-entry into the flagship €95 billion Horizon Europe science research programme is being renegotiated, despite some of the revelations. Well, the EU, they did dangle a carrot, didn't they? They said, well, you wouldn't have to pay into it for the next few years because you haven't obviously benefited from it straight away. Well, yeah, that's a good idea. Well, did they what? Research. I wonder if any. The thing I'm a bit confused about, if, for instance, the UK is restarting the animal testing on little beagles, little dogs. A whole load of imported last week into the UK. It's flipping horrible. And wouldn't it be going against, if you want to export anything from the United Kingdom into the EU, how will that be allowed? You're not going to have a market there, are you, for a start? No one's going to buy it because the laws in the EU are saying no, it can't be tested on cosmetics, that is, tested on animals. So that all that's going to happen then, so what I think is going to happen, more and more. Well, they've already started. I mentioned in the previous video about Lush. They're moving. No, well, they moved. They've already moved production abroad. I think they went to Germany or somewhere. But yeah, it's I don't know. It's talk about rocking the boat. We had quite a good thing going, didn't we? Really, in the UK, we had loads of concessions and what have you. Loads of stuff that nobody else had. Because apparently we were special. But it wasn't good enough, was it? We weren't even in Schengen. So, hence passport control and what have you. And now, they're trying to renegotiate stuff and it's still not better than what we had before. So where are the benefits of Brexit? We haven't got no benefits of Brexit, it's a whole load of bollocks. Like the trade deals that have been negotiated are either equal to or worse than what we had when we were in the EU. Makes no sense. But that wasn't about sense, was it? It's all about it's dogmatic, isn't it? Talking about dogs. Oh, look, I'll pee up the tree. Oh, it's my turn. Oh, I'll pee up the tree now. I'm going to hide your scent with my scent. If he's got any left, that is. No, Wally's just sniffing it. Just, okay, what you going to pee up it, Wally? Sometimes Wally does it in twos. Go on, you can do it, boy. No, it's just another sniff. I think you find that's just Sebastian's pee. Unless you can differentiate. No, he said the bugger that. I'm off. I've got nothing left. Oh dear. So they have some reservations. I'll get my worms out in a minute. Some reservations were expressed, weren't they, by Richie Sunak and what have you, and a lot of it's down to the European Court of Justice. Anything that happens in the European Union is that there has to be some kind of legal body that deals with litigation. It has to be, They're not going to have litigation in the EU, in a British court, are they? They're going, the European Court of Justice has to be involved. So there has to be some. Okay. Okay. Don't worry. He can't manage it anyway. Oh, doggy porn! Is that dogging? Oh, there you go. What happened there? Alright, I'm going to have to take it off then, hold it by hand. Alright, it's going to be really, really awkward because the battery's gone in the gimbal. I think I do need a new gimbal because it's quite old now. And it's the battery's probably buggered. Rotate device. I don't want rotate device. This is going to be really. So I might have to call it in a minute because this is going to be almost impossible. Dee 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 dee. It's like floppy. It's got all limp. So that's obviously too long. It's been charged all night as well. So that's obviously too long for it. It's been running for 40 minutes. So yeah. They're going to do a little video with it earlier as well. So it's probably 45 minutes. Should last longer than that. So it's obviously the battery's on its way out. So anyway, where is the microphone? If I do that, okay, how's that? There we go. Sorry about this. Now I just wrung my ankle. God's sake. You see me how it jumps about now, I'm hand holding it. So it's the gimbal definitely works. Oh, cheers, P. Dallas. Shoe poison snack, no Richie. No. That's your dog sending a P mail. Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. It's crazy not being a part of Horizon. I know, 95 billion, I know it's not all, you'll get all of that, but and the share of that, it just makes logical sense. Yeah, they've actually, just kind of like, recently, the EU has relaxed some of the laws on, where are my dogs gone? I've lost 2 dogs after all that. They're probably just around the bend. Not literally around the bend, I mean around the bend. I hope they are, just up there. Oh, they're there. There's Sebastian. So where's Wally? Got on, there's Wally. Oh, God, thank God for that. Oh, there you go. Here comes Wally. Yeah, the EU have actually relaxed some of the rules apparently on cosmetic testing in the EU to allow some testing on animals, something to do with protecting the workers in the factories and what have you. Obviously, I'm not happy about that. But the UK is literally saying, well, they basically relaxed it 100%. So testing on animals is allowed for medical purposes and what have you, but not on cosmetics. But it has been relaxed a little bit. I think it might have been late last year or this year that's happened, which is a bit disappointing. Oh God, he's at it again. He keeps trying to hump the Dora. Don't do that. Leave Dora alone, Wally. So yeah. But the UK is going to have to try and catch up somehow because it's got no access to EU reach. And without access to the chemicals database, how are they going to put all the data sheets with the stuff that they're selling? Now, whenever I bought stuff in the UK, it was manufactured even in the UK years ago, chemicals and stuff like that. Used to buy stuff from a place called Sands, SAS, and agricultural chemicals and stuff. And the thing about it is that everything came with data sheets. You had to. And also when I used to have to do method statements, reply to tenders and what have you, that too, I had a responsibility of providing data sheets to those people who wanted to, do tenders. So, doing quotes and what have you. You have to tell them what you're going to use and you're going to provide them with the information associated with it. But the UK don't own that data anymore. They can't just say, oh yeah, we've got it on record, we're going to use it. That's not theirs to use. That's plagiarism. It's copyrighted data. And they've lost access to about probably over 70% of data. So they've got access to some still, but obviously not as much as they had before. So this is a problem for manufacturers, and that's why a lot of manufacturers have decided to say, okay, then we're going to have to ship out now. We're going to have to bugger off. That's what Lush did it, and various other manufacturers have done that. And all this does, of course, is even more problems because the stuff to be re-imported, being made abroad now, ends up being imported back into the United Kingdom. A whole load more red tape. And at the moment, the UK to import it back into the UK. UK is now, they still recognise EU reach, they also recognise the CE mark still, so that can that's been kicked down the road, and as you know, it was going to be replaced by the UK CA mark for the CE mark, and then the UK reach, imaginatively called, in replacement for the EU reach, which is all very good, just keep kicking the can down the road, but that's only good for stuff that's been imported. If you want to bring money into the country as an investment, what have you, so you can export goods, you need to be able to put the certification, legally put the certification with the items that you're selling. You know, this is just madness, absolute madness. And the fact is, it isn't fully in place yet, because it's going to catch up, you see. Because, I say catch up, I mean it's going to get progressively worse for the United Kingdom, for manufacturers in the UK, because at the moment, stuff that is currently tested, currently done on new products, already got certification that is already accredited. It's all the new stuff they can have problems with. Not the testing so much, because the testing is a massive issue, because the UK's got to try and retest pretty much everything. Hence the testing on animals has been increased, and they've got to push us through like crazy, you know. Now imagine if companies like Huntington Life Sciences, if it still exists, I don't know if you remember, they were getting attacked by animal rights protesters, and we're not talking about peaceful protests, we're talking about aggressive protests. The workers in these places were being attacked. That was quite severe. And then, the UK pushed in 1998 under Tony Blair, pushed for a ban on animal testing on cosmetics, and obviously things calmed down then. So and then the UK basically set the ball in motion for the EU to start doing the same. The UK was first. They set the standard for this. And now what we've done, we've just thrown it all away. There's no logical sense in it whatsoever, and it's going to be devastating. Where there's money, there's a writ. That's a saying that I used to always remember when I was with the radio and various other things we used to involve with. Where there's money, there's a writ. If you're earning money, there's somebody who want to take it away from you. So you have to have backup, and that backup in the form of data sheets and all stuff like that. Let's say, for instance, we were spraying fields and what have you. Yes, I used to use boom sprayers and those other sprayers and stuff like that. The fear of these chemicals weren't there then, and we weren't using neonics anyway. The bee killers and stuff. But I wouldn't use them now, because I know more about this stuff now. But anyway, with the data sets, you've got a backup, you see, and your insurance companies expect you to use them, because otherwise you won't have the insurance. You can end up in a situation where the insurance company says, well, no, we're not covering you for that, and then they end up either suing your company or you as an individual, if you're not a limited company. So it's just dangerous. The whole thing's dangerous. So I think everything is going to catch up with problems and litigation, all sorts of problems. It's madness. Oh, Mellow says the Brexit Tories have been taking the new paracetamol. Thanks for that. Paracetamol. Next cargo coming next week. No red tape for the Tories every time they order. Yeah, with a paracetamol. It's on the Viking. They better remember to abolish tax audits. Then it's rather important if info for the HMRC. Ooh, what's it saying up there? What does Sabine said? Labs are using huge loophole anyway to get permission. The new rules made the loophole official. Oh, I see. That's interesting. Sabine says, I read this morning that ministers are planning to abolish the obligation for employers to record the number of hours worked by employees. Oh, for God's sake. This is nuts. In France, for instance, the legal working week is 35 hours. Yeah, so if you work for an employer, you can work 35 hours. If they do try and make you work any longer than that, you have to be paid an overtime rate. in the UK, it don't work like that. So let's say, for instance, you're on being paid a salary, for instance, like a lot of doctors and nurses are. They can be expected to work a lot longer shifts, not necessarily get paid anymore. So it's a bit of a bummer. Oh, interesting. Abolish limits, but abolish recording, no. Oh, okay. Yeah, because they're trying to fill... Come on, guys! Pardon. Oh, Joe. My dog's just trying to stop this runner in his tracks. Well, they created a wall, basically. He just stood there. Poor bugger. Yeah. What's my battery doing? My battery's doing okay-ish. We'll probably get back. It's quite hard doing that. So I might have to just use the other... The gimbal obviously is no good for live streams, which is a shame. Do 30 odd minutes. I can lay 30 minutes with this, it's fine. So what we're doing, okay. Yeah, cheers for that, Son of Viking. Now if anyone knows, Son of Viking is a wealth of information. I don't know where he gets it all from. Is it all in your brain? Is it all stored in your head, Son of a Viking? Or you connected to Siri or Google Home? Do appreciate it though, because like I've always said, we're all learning all the time, and I do appreciate the comments about having the videos because it does really help me. Because I'm learning, none of the stuff I know now I knew before. So it's doing this channel, I've learned a lot, and don't always get it right. Nobody does, do they? That's what bugs me is sometimes when I hear people on these channels and they try and make out like they're an authority on something. And they're clearly not, because that's not true, that's not right, and they just sound silly, But if you're honest about it, say that you are learning and you make mistakes, and we all make mistakes, don't we? And I think that's, you've been honest. Not, that's one thing I hate is dishonesty. We get enough of that in this government, don't we? Brexit was never meant to help the plebs, that's us. It was only meant to help the rich exploit the plebs even more. Well, Penny Mordaunt, the sword-wielding potential Prime Minister. Well, she's been criticised for, she took a bribe, didn't she, for 10 grand, I think. Well, I'll say it's a bribe, but which is a payoff. She got 10 grand for something she did. It's probably more, but that's peanuts compared with what some of these Tories have been getting. Crazy amounts of money. And that was Shell Moan. What's happening about that? She bought a £10 million boat with the proceeds from the pandemic. £10 million yacht. How is that right, eh? If it was honestly received, it'd be fine, but it isn't. It was just through lobbying. Yeah, and then the companies that were all set up in the pandemic. It's planned. Do we do this, do that, and then we can, it's free to set up a company. Anyone can set up a company. If you do it via a company's house, well, it used to be free, but I don't know if it's now, I don't know, but it used to be free. So you set up a company, and as long as you've got, a director and a secretary, or 2 directors and a secretary, or however many people, but at least 2 people involved, and that you have a residence in the UK, you can set up a UK company. I think that's right, yeah. It doesn't have to make any money at that stage. That's fair enough. Most businesses don't when you first set them up. But it's a bit dodgy, isn't it? When you're setting up PPE companies during the pandemic, they're not long established companies, and if there wasn't any other options, I would have understood. Yeah, okay, maybe you had to set up these other companies to try and get the goods in. Even though with this particular company, MedPro, it was fraudulent, quite frankly, and everything they produced was brought into the country was absolute rubbish. I've got a little bit of concern that Sebastian's just seen another dog because he starts speeding up. Oh no, he's slowed down again. No, he hasn't. That's all right. We've got a bend up ahead, you see. Yeah, he's all up there again. Little devil. So yeah, so yes, but if, for instance, but the thing is, sorry, there were companies that approached the government to provide PPE, and the UK government, Matt Hancock, decided, in his wisdom, obviously it's a very loose term, to not oblige them. Instead, companies like MedPro, brand new company, just set up for the purpose of swindling PPE, and that's the way I see it. Yeah, contracts. Over 200 million in contracts, yet stuff end up getting burnt or destroyed or whatever, which is also costing huge amounts of money, you know. And it's been contracted by a company that's linked to the Tories. It's the same company that's been distributing the PPE around the country. So what I don't get is why can't we? These are. Doing the logistics for something like PPE is blue and simple, you know. Yes, you need the vehicles, but organise. It's no more than using them post, you know. There are companies already out there that we could have used to distribute this stuff, such as DHL and companies like that. You know, we didn't need to start using, these other companies just because they're Tory friends. That's all it is. It's about how do we extract more monies. It's nuts. You know, could save huge amounts of money, so much wastage. If you look at the debt at the moment in the UK, it's horrendous. It's just, in the last few years, it's just rocketed, literally rocketed. And it's not just because of the pandemic. Obviously, the pandemic played a huge part in it. It's also because of Brexit. The costs involved in trying to, sticky plaster Brexit, because that's all they've been doing, are extreme. They're just horrendous costs. And to top it, it hasn't solved any issues. All it's done is, try to hide the problems of Brexit. And now, obviously, that surface, everybody can see what they are. And most of the public, it seems, or much of, see Brexit as a complete and utter disaster now, even if they put the cross in the wrong box. It's nuts. No, people need to be standing up, really, and shouting from the rooftops. But what have they done? They made it pretty much impossible for you to protest now. You know, if you cause a disturbance, if you link hands, if you have any equipment on there to facilitate locking arms. It's just, how is flipping a tie wrap really lock up, as a way of facilitating locking arms? You get a pair of snippers and you cut through it. It's not exactly a huge problem, is it? Super glue is. God's sake. That stuff, get on the ends and stick to, whatever. It's nuts. But no, they're getting prison sentences for it. Prison sentences for protesting. It's not aggressive. These are peaceful protests. These are like sit-ins and what have you. There's nothing aggressive about that. Yeah, it's disturbing. It causes problems and people can't get to work and stuff like that. But what gives a protest if it doesn't create a disturbance? What's the good of the protest if it isn't loud? Oh, Crocky's at it again. Oh, there's something wrong with that dog. Wally, your little thing ain't even out. One day he'll surprise me. The thing is, Pandora drew the short straw, this little one here did, little chunky, but she drew the short straw, and she was sterilised. The other two weren't sterilised. Now, I know what you say, well, why have you sterilised your dogs? Well, for one thing, we don't generally come in contact with other dogs and what have you. If he's coming down here, I'm going to report him. That guy in that, no, he's not, he's parking up, it's all right. Yeah, sometimes you get people hurtle down here on little trolley bikes and stuff, and it's illegal, and it's people get hurt. So yeah, although I have a bike, I wouldn't do things like that. I suppose the electric bikes are quite quick. Some of them are. Some are really quick. Anyway, where was I? I forgot to go on there. Oh yeah, what was I talking about? I was talking about his little pecker, wasn't I? But no, let's change that subject. Conversation. Anyway, we're going to say ta-ta in anyway. Oh yes, I heard about that. I read this morning, Mellow. Breaking news: Brexit. New doctors. All right, so basically, as soon as you've done the A levels, they don't want you to go into into training, they want you to go straight into the front line. For God's sake. Well, you've got the pharmacies involved there as well. They're already overrun, the pharmacies. They can't cope. They can't afford to run anyway because the cost of medications is more than what they're being paid. Same's happening with the dental service. The cost of treatment is costing more than what they're getting paid, and they're shutting down that 10 to the penny. And now he wants to put unqualified, an 18-year-old pretty much, unqualified on the front line. Yeah, that's nuts. That's nuts. We're going to have, oh crikey. You know what that'll lead to? That's going to lead to a lot of legal cases as well, because there's going to be accidents, and the public will be able to do what they do and, well, sue them. Now, there's always problems, obviously, in the health service regarding accidents and things go wrong and what have you. In fact, one of our friends where we used to live in Sale House, there was a problem with their child being born, and it was found that it was a miscalculation on the NHS's part, and what happened is that the kid ended up with brain damage, and he's in a wheelchair and what have you, and I went to court. It took several years, about 10 years it did, to get sorted out. He ended up with $500,000 in trust out of the NHS. Yeah, so, come on guys! So it's a bit nuts. I come back to the car. Oh, there's my smashing. That's one. That's my Dora. That's two. And there's my Wally. Okay, we've got them all. They're all here. So we're going to sign off in a second. And I'm probably going to be going live tonight. I'm not uploading any videos today because they're not doing anything. So I'm not getting any views. And if I can't get views, I put all the effort in and it's just not getting anywhere. So there's no point at the minute. I'm not saying I'm not putting videos up anymore, but I'm just saying. Get in, look, you can do it. I can't help you. Oh, you want me to help you? Wally's struggling. Here you get, look. Wally's in. Pandora, you gonna get in? No? You're gonna go. Oh, I'm just gonna have to help her in. Come on then. Ugh. A little fatty. Oh, the bum. Oh, he's gonna be the same, isn't he? Oh, damn it. God's sake. What are they like? The blankets all falling out. You don't need that on top. Get the lead. I'll drop on the floor. Oh my giddy arm. Alright. Very annoying that my gimbal don't last very long. Yeah, that's very annoying. Right. Ugh. We're back and oh hello. Right, that's that there. Right. Oh, that's what I could do. That's my gimbal. Battery lasted for 30 minutes. That's it. So I could do a new one really. They're not that expensive actually. But when you haven't got any money, it's kind of a bit tough going. Let's put it back on there. Of course, warm in the car, boys. Without you open these windows. Yeah. It's a bit toasty in there, isn't it? Hmm. You know what they're hoping for, don't you? They want another treat. Oh, dear me. There you are. So, Pandora, Sebastian, and then I've got little Wally down hiding behind there. There he is. Oh, there you go, boy. Hang on, you nicked it. Got the wrong. That's Wally's, not yours. Dora's there too. There you go. I wonder if she's fat. She's a greedy little devil, she is. Yeah. What's in the Telegraph? Sorry. Number 3 says the police are required to provide hard evidence of harm being committed or intended to justify their use of force. The evidence was very, very thin in this case. Are you talking about the dogs? The dog's been shot? Because it's no, I clipped my head. Look. Yeah, don't worry. I'm about to go anyway. So hello, Duke Vengeance. Yeah, I wasn't going to do the PM Coos because Graham Hughes normally does that, doesn't he? And I've got to do other stuff as well. I've got to do stuff. I'm going to go and do some stuff for my other channel as well. You see, so that's the plan. And I wonder if I can get some power into that gimbal, because I might need that in a minute. Because one of the videos was in a field, and I don't really want to hold the camera by hand. I could do with the gimbal. So let's plug that into this battery. Brian's battery's got some power in it. It's fully charged. That's good. So I'll charge that up. Hopefully get a little bit of power in there. That might help. Oh, I wonder if that'll work if I have the battery on the side of it plugged in. I'll check it out, won't I? Yeah, but God knows going Pimcoos. I find it a little bit disheartening, Pimcoos, to be honest. It's just nothing comes out of it. It's just a load of hyperbole and no bollocks, really. I'm sorry. You know, I was really disappointed in David Lammy the other day when he said on LBC, when he was asked about that bill, the protest bill, what we're going to do about that. Are we going to, you know, get rid of it? And he says, no, you can't expect us to get rid of the, you know, everything that the Tories have done, he says. Well, I think, frankly, isn't that what we're kind of asking them to do? I mean, a protest bill is against democracy. As far as I'm concerned, I think most people consider the same thing happening. The whole of our democracy is you're right, number 3. I know, it's shocking, and it's not just, it's frightening, actually. It's frightening, and it's sad. I find it extremely, extremely sad where we're headed. Oh, cheers, Capro. Yeah, I'd regarding, like I said earlier, you know, I've said several times before, you know, politics as a whole, I was never interested in, and it's only since Brexit really I kind of started taking interest because it really affected us. Because we live here in France, and what have you, we were already worried and concerned. In fact, we were frightened what was going to be happening because we didn't know where our, you know, where we stood, because everything keeps changing from one minute to the next. Yeah, one minute we were told one thing, the next we were told something else, and we were concerned because all our investment was here in France. You know, our house is here. We sold up in the UK to be able to do what we're doing here. So me and the missus were very worried. My mother-in-law was very, very worried as well. She used to live in France, and she and the husband, you know, mother and father-in-law, they both packed up and moved back to the UK because they were worried. You know, thankfully, luckily, everything was very, very easy, and you know, yeah, we were treated very well. You know, okay, they got our biometrics and probed us, yeah, and all that. Hey, Capro, yeah, right, cheers, buddy. Hug from me for the doggies. They are lovely guys, they really are, aren't you? Look, we timed it just right. Another dog's turned up. Yeah, but they are lovely guys, they really are. I'm getting on a bit now. See, Sebastian's about 12, Wally's 13, and Pandora's 10. So Pandora's the youngest one, who happens to be the one who looks the oldest. Yeah, that's because she had a massive shock when she was younger. She had a run-in with a ram and busted her jaw up, and then weeks after she's up going grey. That's another dog. Another dog just run past. No, it's another dog. Yeah, as a boy dog, you might like that one. Yeah. She's usually right, boys. When girls turn up, she gets really jealous and gets a little bit, not snappy, but she barks a lot from the sidelines. But yeah, our dogs aren't aggressive, so we're quite lucky with that. They're not aggressive at all. They're soppy old things. Oh, you're buying a house, number 3. Oh, well done, buddy. Oh, excellent. Yeah, I know, it's just hard to keep going, really, but because the channel is suffering. It really has suffered, and it's I keep plodding on with it, and it's at the moment I've just kind of just try and keep it going, really, and see if things change. Because I don't know what direction to take it, to be honest. I try different things, and then they don't work, and you know, and you keep plodding more. You know, I've tried hammering it with material, and although the overall views go up, the amount of work I'm putting into it doesn't match up with the income. The income is still diabolical. I mean, it's really bad, and it's only really because I tell you what. The only reason I keep making videos and doing is because of support that I get from you guys. Really, otherwise I'd most certainly would I'd have given up by now. Because one thing is, it's actually a depressing channel sometimes. Because with all the research you have to do, what have you, just to try and produce videos, it's disheartening, and it's. I want to maintain some faith in human nature, you know. Because I think most people inherently are relatively good, but that's become a very thin line now with everything that's been going on, especially with the refugees and now the protest bill and stuff like that. And I just don't see. I don't see me ever being able to live in the United Kingdom again. I really don't. And in fact, I try and keep away from it. And although my family, my kids and all there, I do keep in contact with them. But the idea that I'm going to move back to the UK or even visit often, I might go once every couple of years just to see the kids, and that'd be it. Pretty much. I just find it just saddening. It's saddening, sickening and sad where we've ended up. I also find it a bit frightening, quite frankly, because the people in charge, well, they're diabolical. They've got there's no humanity in them. It's so sad because the UK used to be the pinnacle of humanity and what have you, really. I think so. I know there was some bad stuff, obviously, but on the whole, I think most people, like I say, were inherently good. But it's like someone's that worm's turned. It's horrible. Keep going. I will try to keep going, but while I get support, I will. But at the moment, if it like dies off, the channel's just either I'll take a completely different direction with it, so it ends up being something totally different. With the hope that I'd hold on to some subscribers, or whether or not I carry on with it. Maybe I'll do yoga. I'll call it Yoda. But would be a little bit different, wouldn't it? Yeah, maybe that's too much of a tangent. But it's just one thing, isn't it? It's just some things work, and I know what it is. It's not. There's other channels that are working quite well. Cheers, Smith. Are working quite well. Dave Blase, he's done amazing. I really admire the guy. But he's stuck to a certain thing, and but that's just not me. That's not who I am. If I see something, sometimes I just want to react to it, and it doesn't always do me any favours regarding the channel. But what do I really want to be? How do you put it? Controlled by the environment I'm set that just to feed the algorithm constantly, because that's what it feels like. Because David Blase, he's done very well very quickly, but he's doing pretty much the same thing all the time, and he does use a lot of clickbait, which I find a bit disappointing that you have to use clickbait to succeed. Because clickbait, all it is you're lying to people, and I will refuse. I might make mistakes, but I will not lie. I will not. I've made that. That's like one of my amendments. Very bad, sad hair. There it is. You aren't wrong, Mellow. You've got interesting use of words, though, I must say. Because obviously I follow you on Twitter and what have you. And are you doing the your little memes yourself? Cause I think some of them your memes, aren't they? Literally no humanity at all in some cases. I know. Number 3, I find it really sad. I am holding on a little bit that people will regain a little bit of humanity and start seeing the wood from the trees, even if it is only for their own benefit. I don't know. Something needs to be done. If you look what's happened with that Bibby Stockholm, what have you, the prison ship, Now, I'm quite glad, because the first reports were that you're not going to be able to come off the ship and wander about, what have you, because you're going to be within a customs control area, but you're not now. Apparently where it's been put, it's not going to be Falmouth. The people can come off and actually visit the town at certain times of the day or something. They can visit. They can stroll about, apparently. So it's not necessarily a prison ship. I think call it a prison ship. So hopefully it's not going to be quite as bad, because I just can't imagine that many people being stuck on a steel crate, because that's pretty much what it is, isn't it? Yeah. And it's not designed for that many people. It's not. So it's designed for 220 people in 220 rooms. Because it's just the Bibby Stockholm is basically it's a supply accommodation for maintenance projects, but also offshore construction builds and stuff like that. So you can provide accommodation and all these whether you're off oil rigs and stuff like that, oil platforms. And the idea is that, people come on and they get some shut eye and they don't get disturbed. So, you can't do that with people with different shifts. It's, more than one per room. But now they're using it for migration. It's been kitted out with bunks, so you get 2 per room. But some people are saying it could be as many as 4. So although they're saying it's going to be 500 people on there, it could be 1,000. Now that's impossible. I don't see how that would ever work. It's going to be like, what's that, Delta City. Yeah, it's going to be like Delta City. And there's going to be like war, and there'll be factions and gangs and stuff on there. I can't imagine people are going to be happy. Something's dangerous. The whole thing's dangerous. God, an hour and 15 we've done already. It's a shame to be British. I am, to be fair. It's quite hard to disguise sometimes, though. Especially once we get rid of the Tories, it might be a bit of hope. Yeah, it might be. The only thing is, though, Keir Starmer, I'm sorry, but I'm not happy with Labour. I'm going to vote Labour. I've said this a million times. I'm voting for Labour, but that's only tactically, because I'm in the Broadland area when I do, for the general election, and it's my last opportunity to vote if the rule regarding the 15 years come in, because for the next general election, and not this one coming up, but the one after, we might not be able to vote anyway. So unless that rule changes, there is talk of it, I know, and they are trying to push it through, but we'll see. Hasn't happened yet. So, tactically I'd be voting Labour. If it's voting with my heart, I've said it before, I'll be voting for Greens. Because definitely, they have done so well, and we seem to be having more and more serious people being put forward within the Greens now. Not just tree huggers. So I'm quite hopeful that the Greens will get more seats this time. I'm just hope. They won't. There's no point in me voting for Greens because they definitely won't get in my area, in Broadland, because it's very Tory. They won in the in the local elections again. So only by about 3 seats though. So Labour did very well. Gained a lot back. So we'll see. It's hard to tell what's happened. Things might be very different, and lots will be lots of. Maximilian Robespierre, I hope you're well, buddy. Lots potentially could happen between now and the general election. Things could change. I can say a lot's going to change for the worse, but I would hope even with Richie Sunak that things will soften somewhat. Although I don't trust him as far as I can throw him. The bloke's a con man. But he's fake, isn't he? Let's be honest. Hey, Smithy's a bit of a tree hugger. Hello, tree hugger. They are good tree huggers. I've got a problem with tree huggers. I just think with politics, you're not going to bring people on board necessarily by going full on hard on green. And that's what I mean by tree hugger. I don't mean you're literally hugging trees. There's nothing wrong with being a bit hippie-ish. I'm a bit of a hippie, to be fair. I think regarding the green vote and what have you, we need to be able to embrace people to get people on board to actually think it's a good idea, and it can't just be about the environment. It has to also be about the economy. Otherwise you're never going to get anyone to think it's a sensible idea. There's green parties out there and coalitions what have you around the world. Oh, that's what we need. Proportional representation, don't we, Max Robespierre? And UBI. Well, UBI is a dead set. That will be happening. Definitely will be happening because AI is going to destroy jobs. Absolutely destroy them. So it'll be inevitable. Let's go green. Hurry up. I would love to. I'm trying to do my we're quite self-sustainable. We've got about 70% of our power by solar. I do have a wind turbine to put up, so I need to do that. We're doing pretty well, and we create very, very little waste. Very little waste. And a lot of that's because we don't buy food from shops. Go proportional representation and UBI, says Maximilian Robespierre. Nice to see you here, friend. I know. I didn't go live last night because you were live last night, weren't you? So I haven't been on your stream recently. I was just so flipping tired, and to be honest, and a bit tired of flipping AllShorts, to be honest, as well. I can't seem to make any headway with it, but there you go. That's me. I've been having the problem for the last 2 years with it, and I really. It started really well, and it's sort of been up and down, up and down, up and down. And it's only through people's support. There's a reason why I keep going. People have been so generous. Uh, 91 Lee says, nor me, not very happy with Labour, I take it. I've been Labour forever and now I'm going Green. I'll be absolutely honest with you, I've been pretty much Green for a very, very long time. In the heart, but not necessarily voted Green for tactical reasons. So it's just one of the things, isn't it? It's just got to, at the moment, it's just about getting the Tories out in it, really. And making sure they have no presidents whatsoever. We don't want them having any seats if we can help it. Well, I lost a lot of local seats, and we just need to make sure that is reciprocated in the general election. So hopefully they just have no power, you know. But I don't also equally, I don't want Labour to get in too much power either. You know, so with great power comes great responsibility. Isn't that what they say? Yeah, but there's some people in Labour. Just think about it. Kate Hoey was Labour. You know, there are people in Labour. They're a little bit flipping screwball and all. You know, it's not all sensible. You know, a bit crazy, really. And then you obviously got the Labour hard left in the Labour, which I think is a bit of a problem. I think we're never going to get. We need more. Well, I don't think Labour's centre ground at the moment anyway, to be honest. But you know, well, maybe they are. I don't know. But we need. I think it needs a bit sort of left of centre, or just on the centre, maybe. But the hard left, I think is also a bit of a problem. You know what they say? You know, if you go too far to the left, you end up on the right. Look at Kate Hoey. Maybe that's what it is. What happened there? You know. Oh, dear me. It's amazing when you get some of these politicians. You got like Liz Truss. She was in the Liberal Democrats when she went over to the Tories, and you got crikey. And then you got what's the other one? Oh, the guy was in UKIP. He was in the Tory, weren't they? Put his name in. He ain't got a seat now, have they? UKIP, they're pretty much devastated now. Absolutely devastated they are. They're buggered. Absolutely buggered. But he was the head of the UKIP, that he was reciprocating what 30p Lee was saying regarding, if you don't like it here, it's so flipping horrible here, well, I think you ought to bugger off abroad. Why do these people keep saying that? We can't do that anymore. You know? Since they ripped us out of the European Union, you know, put the cross in the wrong box that they did. So it's that's one of the things, isn't it? You know, we just scuppered. Absolutely scuppered. It's quite sad. It really is quite sad. But there you go. What can we do? So it says Green parties have an image problem because for years they promoted instant change and people could not afford to do that. That's a massive problem. And they promote change over time, and now they're promoting change over a period of time. Yeah, and the changes now add up. So yeah, we need something progressive, don't we? You can't just flick a switch on this, because people suffer. And also they talk more about how about social issues as well, don't they? Not just about the environment. Caroline Lucas, oh God, we need more of her. We really do. She's brilliant. She's got a big heart on her, and also she talks a lot of sense. And she can, she can hold her own in a debate as well. In fact, she pretty much devastates. I quite liked it the other day. She was it on Politics Live when she took down Gullis? The laughing, him. Jonathan Gullis. Can't believe that guy was a teacher. He used to teach children. That's just, I can't comprehend that. Yeah, that's a good sign, isn't it? So hopefully Greens will do well. The thing with Green, they are okay with local stuff, but on a national level, I feel that they speak to a much smaller national group. Yeah, they're not going to make enough headway, are they, in a general election? They only usually have, usually one seat, or Caroline Lucas. Yeah, Kato thinks she's in the UVF. Yeah, probably. I'll have to plug this in here. Plug it into there. Because... No, run out soon, so... Oh, no charging. Okay, might be right now. Oh, dear. It's a lot longer than I thought it was going to do. Well, we started with the old gimbal, yeah, which battery failed, and then well, now we're back in the car. Handhold it for a while, and now we're back in the car. I've just got a clamp to my steering wheel. See that? But yeah, anyway, I am going to call it. It's nice to see you, Max. I hope you're well, friend. So let's see what's going on. Let's do it. It would be interesting to see both Tories and Labour, not to get a majority, but Lib Dems and Green have enough seats to have the majority. Whoa, that would be good. That'd be interesting. That would be interesting. Especially the two parties there that will push for rejoining the European Union. Although I think that's pie in the sky for many years. Even if we do get some support there, that's going to be a long way off. But it would speed the process up. That would be... God, that would be brilliant. Wayne Ford says, AI needs regulating, but that'll only be by the big players. But now we are just a little island with no voice. No, soft power is pretty much a bit flaccid. Yeah. And now we have left the union of 28 to join, just 11 on the other side of the world. Well, we had power with them with the European Union before, so we haven't gained anything. We lost everything. Keep going, Mark. Sorry for the name. No, the name's right. Don't worry. We need people who are down to earth and don't. I'm not going to stop, but I have to be practical as well because I have to earn money. I'm not fortunate enough to have a bank balance. I've pretty much got a minus bank balance at the moment. And me and my dear missus, I couldn't even give Caroline any money to go back in the UK. The kids had to help out. You know, which is a bit. I find it really embarrassing. So, although it was doing okay, and our income was literally enough to keep us going. It's even with this, even with people's support, it's just not enough now. It's we're always in the negative, and I literally just had to go, we sold a couple bits and pieces just to put some money in the bank, so we're just doing pay our bills. So it's tough at the moment. YouTube is a nightmare. One minute you think you're doing all right, the next minute it's diabolical. And I know what it is. It's me. It's just who I am, and it's not necessarily enough to push the channel forwards. If I did the same thing every single day, and I'm not like that, I really am. It would be different. Maybe. So, do I do load of mashup videos and stick to those, but then you're using a lot of reused content, so you risk of copyright strikes. Even with fair usage, because that is down to that can only be debated in court. So people can say, well, that's our material, and you end up with a copyright strike. You can defend it, but you have to go to court for it, or they have to take you to court for it. But it's an absolute nightmare. So reusing content is not the answer. I don't think so. And fair usage is such a loose term. It really is. I know that Daily Blase, he uses a lot of he reuses content, but it's the committee meetings and what have you, isn't it? So he should be fine with those. But when you're talking about the mashups, when like Politics Live or what's the other one? Question Time and stuff like that. The issue is that material is copyrighted. And although I got away with it on some of my videos, some of them I have not. I haven't got strikes, it's just that they've claimed the content. So any money from advertising on those videos, I don't get. It goes to them. Even though it's only like a tiny, tiny clip in the video. So, it's raining now. Yeah, so it's a difficult one, what do you do with it? So I've got my Earth Trifle channel, also got my Wally Bra channel, I've got a couple of other channels as well actually, which I haven't done anything with recently. But I'd like to push Earth Trifle more, because it's good for the head, you see. And it's sort of like, when your head full on doing AllShorts all the time, it seems to be negative stuff all the time, it's not good for the old mind. So it's good to try and break it up with something else as well. Sort of balance you out a bit, if it makes any sense. And but obviously it hasn't got enough subscribers yet on Earth Trifle, so that's going to be a long way off. It's what 260 subscribers, so I can't monetize that. But I'll do it. I suppose I could do it with support and stuff like that, but I don't get enough views for that to even be anywhere near practical yet. So anyway, I'm mumbling, aren't I? I'm mumbling along, just jabbering a load of rubbish. Well, I have to go. Okay, mate. You take care, buddy. You have a nice evening, won't you, mate? Say hello to your brothers. So I'm going to make a move. We need our own TV channel. Well, I used to be on Sky with on Sky Radio. That was years and years ago. Or back in when was that? About 2003, 2004, and we used to broadcast on there. It's possible, but you don't really need to these days. Not be funny, but a lot of these online channels now, they get more views than what they get on the flipping television. The youngsters don't consume TV. For a start, the youngsters do not. They're the future, remember, and they generally do not consume the TV. They really don't. Everything they do is on their mobile devices. So it's TV's gonna die a death. It really will. Eventually, it's all gonna be online. Keir Starmer acts like Boris Johnson begging, saying, I just want my Brexit. I just want my Brexit. That's how they go, isn't it? I just want my Brexit. Oh, crikey. What started me off on that? I heard it on something. I can't remember. Somebody actually said that on the street. It was a street interview. I heard that and I just started mimicking it. It was just ludicrous. I just thought, I just want my Brexit. I can't remember that was. Probably Liverpool. I don't know, something like that. No, I went Scouse. What was it again? That was weird, whoever it was. Oh, dear. Yeah, so Keir Starmer acts like Boris Johnson, begging, saying, I just want my Brexit. Yeah. We need our own TV channel. We do. I quite like just chatting, really. It's quite nice, really. Maybe tonight at the Snowflake Show. Don't forget the Snowflake Show tonight. And yeah, I'm gonna probably go live. And probably the hour before, just before the Snowflake Show's on. Warm up. I'll be the support act. So yeah, I like to support the Snowflake Show because Reagan and Lee, they're both really nice people. They really are. And if I can help them, I will. I don't know what help I am, but we'll see. Yeah, cheers everybody. Well, I'm going to make a move now, and I appreciate everyone being here. I really do. And it's it's quite nice chatting, to be fair. And we'll go from there. I hope to see you tonight. What do you reckon, guys? Give them one last treat. That's Sebastian's a good boy, isn't he? Yeah. He does randomly bark, but there you go. Yeah. Oh, that's gentle for a change. And Dawson, I think I'll move. Oh, I'll have one of them as well, she says. Oh, where's that Wally gone? Is he hiding down the bottom there? Where? Is Wally? I've lost my Wally. Where's Wally? Wally in the back there. Maybe I'll just throw one in the back. Maybe I'll... Yeah, he's got it. Yeah, hope to see you all guys and gals later. Why did the super glue cross the road to go and protest? Okay. Ta-ta. And thanks for being there. We'll do it again sometime, maybe. I'm pressing it. Are you sure? Oh, no. Press it again.